So what you're about to see, the stuff that I talked about, please understand that it's more important to me than cinematography. Enjoy! I just wanted to introduce myself by saying my name. You can read it. I mean, you might be able, yeah, it's there for people if you want to read it, if you can. So, hi. Hi, I'm actually gonna move because my arm's gonna get tired. A couple of my friends suggested that I start a YouTube channel. So I did a few years ago, and usually I post like covers and really bad original songs and poetry, but I wanted to start something new. I had a couple of ideas written down on what to talk about, and I actually just recorded myself. Just be here for you every time. I messed up so bad. That's what. Okay, it's fine. This is fine. It's fine. And I actually got off track at some point, and I started talking about something else. I think that's what I want to talk about. So, I'm going to talk about my anxiety and maybe my depression if I'm feeling up to it. But yeah, so hi, again. Nice to see you, nice to meet you. I'm gonna spin around again because variety. Let's start off with the basics. So I grew up in Canada. This is getting distracting. Okay, you know what? Let's just get to it, shall we? I don't know where to put you. I'm not a professional, obviously. So I grew up here in Canada, and I was a pretty confident child. I was actually pretty obnoxious. I was overconfident, I would say, in who I was and what I did and the things that I said. I mean, my family didn't move around a lot, but we moved around enough. So I was very used to being the new kid in school, and up until then, I was very good at making friends, and I didn't really care that, you know, it was a new school and like I could mess up and all that. No. I made friends very easily, and now I don't know what your experience in middle school was like, but I know that mine was not that great. And I think that's the commonality. I think that's common. It was just a time, you know, puberty, basically kids trying not to be kids, just clawing at each other like animals and destroying each other's self-esteem is basically the experiences that I went through. I didn't really exhibit any symptoms. It's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie, guys. Grade 7, I started getting really anxious about my grades and about the relationships I had with my family members, and in grade 7 was the first time I really felt low, to the point that I wanted to hurt myself, which, you know, I was 12. Hearing and reading and seeing that there are other kids out there who tried and actually did it breaks my heart every time, which is why I guess I want to talk about my mental illness right now, because if you are watching this and you are going through some tough time, please understand that while I am still here, and that I am younger or older than you, I'm still going through time. I think we are all going through a time. And yeah, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Please, I'm sorry. So let's talk about my anxiety. In grade 10 was the first time that I really started to notice it, specifically in history class. We would watch movies and videos. I was seated next to the teacher's desk, which was very close to the projector screen. So if you were watching a movie or if you were watching something in that class, chances are I was in your peripheral vision or in the background, something like that. And that gave me insane anxiety. I didn't know what it was called at the time. I just knew that whenever we were watching something, I felt like everyone was watching me. That made my face burn up to like 90 degrees Celsius. I would want to cry. My throat would sort of feel like it was closing up, like it was sewn up. And I'd be shaking and sweating so much, like buckets of sweat. And I didn't really understand why I was having this kind of reaction until, you know, I read on about anxiety, specifically social anxiety. It wasn't just while we were watching movies and I felt like I was being watched. It was pretty much every time I had a conversation with people, in the back of my mind, there would be like this voice, I guess, telling me, oh, you're so stupid, oh, they're laughing, but they're fake laughing, they don't really think you're funny, they're gonna go home and they're gonna tell their friends how lame you are, kind of thing. Ooh, secretly she hates you, she says she's your best friend, but she actually hates you and resents you, that kind of thing. That carried on. God, I would still say that it still carries on today. It's just a matter of me kind of combating that voice with my own. Not to say that that voice isn't my own. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I should just preface this whole thing with that. I don't know what I'm doing. What sucks about my anxiety and my depression is that I have both, which a lot of people do have, and I know that a lot of people understand how much that freaking sucks when you have both, because on the one hand, your anxiety is telling you all the things that you should be doing, all the things that you potentially could fail at, but on the other hand, your depression is kind of like, what's the point of trying? What's the point of trying to rekindle friendships? What's the point of trying to get up in the morning kind of thing? Like, there's no point. So why are you even here? But then if you're lying down in bed and you're having depression day or depression nap, as I like to call them, then your anxiety is like, hey, there's like a ton of stuff you should be doing. And because you're not even doing them, you fail. You're a failure. You suck. You suck. You suck so much. Oh my gosh. Everybody thinks you suck. That's how I view my anxiety and depression, at least. So on days where I'm feeling very low, those two kind of voices or two things in me just kind of battle it out, and it's just not a fun time. And I know that I've talked about this in the past, but so I left school November 2016 because I let my anxiety and depression get to me and really control my life, to the point that I was not going to be here anymore. So my parents found out. They were very, very supportive and still are. I sought help, which is a good thing. I saw a therapist and family doctor pretty regularly. I'm sorry if the camera's shaky. My hands are shaking. This is very hard to talk about coherently and just in general. So if you are watching and you've made it this far, like, so much. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of pointless to tell you details of what I go through when I have an anxiety or panic attack, but I will, just because I'm already letting it all out. So why the heck not? I would say most of the time for me, it's a lot of crying, and not just like, it's like full on I can't breathe crying, and I feel like my heart is just gonna burst out of my chest. It's just a lot of feeling like I'm dying but I'm not, and then feeling like I'm lame for feeling like I'm dying but I'm not, and it's just a cycle of gross feeling. It's just not a fun time. And a lot of people share these things where, oh, you should breathe, and that does help. I will admit to that, it does. But sometimes when I'm like in the thick of it, it makes me feel kind of, maybe it's just my pride, I feel very infantilized when people say things that make me feel like, I don't know, like I'm not capable or like I'm a baby, especially when it's well-meaning friends. And it's just like, oh, mental illness, why? I'm gonna like cut most of this out, but again, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I think I'm at a much better place now. I'll probably do another video on why and how I'm at a better place. I just wanted to share and open up about what I've been through, sort of, not really, just so that you feel even just a fraction of what I feel, with, I don't know, chest pounding, feeling like you just ran like 10 marathons even though you're like the least fit person, because that's me. Know that I'm here. Know that there are so many other people who go through the same thing, and I don't mean that in a way to belittle whatever you're feeling, but as a way to tell you that you're not alone. And that's so cliche. And trust me, whenever I am in a place of darkness, I don't like to hear that. You're not alone. I feel alone, and so therefore I am alone, kind of thing. That's what my experience is, at least. But know that you don't have to be alone. Oh god, that makes me sound like I'm saying like you're putting yourself in that place, which you're not. But do you get what I'm trying to, do you get it? Cause I care. I care so much, even if I don't really know you. Truth is, if I come off cold or distant to anybody in my life, it's probably because I'm so scared that I'll come off like really lame and dorky, which I am, but I don't want anyone else to know that. I don't know, the whole point of this is to say, you're not alone. If you ever need to talk, please talk to me. Please. Because you are so loved, and you are so worthy, even when you feel like you're not. And I'm saying that because I didn't really get to hear that from myself when I was younger, and from, I guess, other people. And if I did, I didn't really like hang on to those words. But I want you to hang on to these words. You are worthy, and you are loved. Even, especially when you feel like you're not, you're so worthy. You're so worth it. You're worth everything. Don't really know what else to say other than that. Thanks for listening. Okay, bye.